Want more orgasms? Here's some expert advice. Backdoor play, part 2. It's your Energizer Beauty here, and if you didn't see part 1, I'm gonna need you to stop this video and go find part 1 first, because I don't want you to watch them out of order, because it's very, very important, all right? So I have been discussing the art of the tail, aka backdoor play. So I think where I last left off, we were talking positioning and, just talking about a few different products that will actually help to make backdoor play pleasurable. So I do want to say this, that if you are practicing this with a partner, with an eggplant, I encourage you strongly to use one of those rubber things. I can't say the proper term, right? So I don't get blocked. But you want to use one of those rubber things to protect against bacteria and infection, or make that the end game. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you going back to front. Like you go front to back and then you're done and then you clean up. Okay, so that's extremely important. Now, another very important thing, okay? If you are using a bedroom accessory, if you are using a backdoor toy, it needs to be a toy that is specifically designed to use in the back door. And what do I mean by that? I mean that it needs to have a stopper on the end of it, okay? Now, I didn't get on here to sell you products, so I don't have one in front of me. Let me grab something so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on one moment. Okay, I'm back, obviously. Okay, so I want to show you, I'm going to try to discreetly show you, because TikTok's been a little funny lately with me actually like showing products. So imagine, so this is like new age backdoor beads, okay? So got the length there. Now, this is what I mean by a stopper, okay? So you see, like if this goes inside, this can't like get sucked up because it has a stopper, right? So if it is truly a backdoor accessory, it is going to have some type of stopper on the end like that. And this is the reason why. The back door has a muscle called a sphincter muscle that does not play games. Do you hear me? You talk about a powerful suction. And there's stories, like there's a lot of different stories. You can see it, on, think like there's a show like Sent Me to the ER, things like that. Like people are legit ending up in the ER because they have, they put an object in their back door that didn't belong there. I mean, not even like bedroom accessories, but things like shampoo bottles and hairspray bottles and light bulbs. You would be surprised. So that's why what I'm talking about and what I'm teaching about is so important, because if you are trying this practice, it can be very pleasurable, but you want to do the right things and you don't want to do the wrong things. So I'm talking male and female right now, is you want to make sure that you're doing it right. Now, there's also concern, of course, right? Because it's the back door and that is a place where you expel waste, yes? And so you're like, okay, well, it's gross. What about cleanup? First of all, not even about cleanup, but just comfort. You want to, it's recommended that you have some type of, that you do maybe an enema, or that you use a backdoor douche, okay? And again, that is going to clean you out. So therefore, it's going to make it much more comfortable. You'll have less anxiety about whether or not there's going to be a mess or if there's going to be a smell or any of that, right? So these are all things that you do to be able to prep before actually getting involved in this act. Okay, so then there is the to shave or not to shave. It's like, okay, well, do I shave? Because some people do have hair back there, right? And some have a little more than others. It is not necessary, but if it makes you more comfortable, you always want to do and stick with what is going to make you comfortable and what is going to give you more pleasure, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally, right? Because you do want to prepare yourself mentally and physically. So all of these things that I'm talking to you about, I'm actually going through the whole process of preparing yourself mentally and physically and using the proper, products to be able to help it to be enjoyable. Don't just get with the partner and let them just hammer and go at it. That's not the way to do it. And you're not going to enjoy it if it's like that and you're a beginner. And there are also things like backdoor trainer kits. I do have those. Sorry, my phone rang just on the tail end of that. No pun intended. that, there are backdoor trainer kits, right, that gradually help you to actually stretch the area so that you have more comfort. If you have a partner that is very well endowed, things like that, those are legitimate concerns, right? Those are things that you want to be able to honestly talk to your partner about what your concerns are and make an informed decision as to what's going to be best for you. And again, keep in mind that if you have a partner that's extremely well endowed and you're really concerned, about, tearing and things like that, it doesn't have to be full on penetration. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean, having backdoor play and, certain words and terms I can't say, doesn't mean that you've got to go all the way in. It could just be a little, outer play and stimulation. It could be a little tickle, as I mentioned, and showed you here with the, this is called Wild Wild West. It can just be a little tickle. So don't let these films make you, like, that should not be your model. That's not your example for what it should be like. And I know that for many people, that's the only example that you have. And that's the only example that you've seen. But now you got me, okay? Class is in session, okay, with your Energizer Beauty. And I'm always going to give you information that is backed by, research and doctors. I am not a doctor, but I am a certified sexual health consultant that is trained by some of the best doctors and researchers. So trust and believe. If there's anything I don't know or I'm unsure of something, I'm not going to say it to you. I'm going to do the research or I'm going to give you a resource. Now, as I mentioned, having a trainer kit, try being with yourself first, so before you bring a partner into the situation, whether you're in a committed relationship or you're married or what have you, like, use toys with yourself first, right? So try, backdoor beads, try a trainer kit so that you have alone time so that you can experiment with your own body and see what you like and what feels good to you and what feels right, what feels wrong, before you get, because it's really more awkward with a person when you're really uncomfortable and if you have anxiety and things like that. So don't be ashamed to actually, like, get a product for yourself and spend some time alone with yourself, trying different things and just kind of testing the waters and see what it is that you enjoy. Okay, now before I move on to talking about the men, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. You can ask it in the comments, or if you're not comfortable, like I said, you can slide into my DMs. Make sure that you follow me if you enjoy this content. Again, everything is not for everybody. I have a saying, chew up the meat, spit out the bone. So that basically means take in what you can use and what's good for you. And if it's not something for you, just let it go. Like, don't be offended by it. Don't make anyone else feel ashamed because they're commenting on it or they're engaging and wanting and needing this information. Like, this is supposed to be a safe space for everybody, okay? But I did have someone to ask a question, and they mentioned that their partner wants to engage in backdoor play, but they're really nervous because all they've seen is films where the woman had a very enlarged area back there, obviously because she's been having a lot of engagement, a lot of activity back there. So that is a thing. If it is something that you are indulging in all the time. So there are some ramifications to that, and I will go into that right now. Okay, now stick with me here because this part can get a little graphic, all right? Now, I talked about the sphincter muscle. Now, that is actually the muscle that is right at the end of your anus that is designed to tighten, right? So that it actually holds feces in until you're ready to push and release it. That muscle can end up permanently stretched out if you are having lots and lots and lots of penetrative backdoor play. So you have two options where that's concerned. And I think that I probably want to go into details about that as I am really focusing on the men and backdoor play and why both hetero and same-sex homo actually do enjoy it. So because this video is going to end in like 60 seconds, I'm going to end part 2 and get ready to go into part 3. So if you are enjoying this education and information, whether it's for you to use or not, somebody that you know may need to use it. So please like, comment, and share, because there's not a lot of there are not a lot of places where women can go and get this information, and they need it for their safety and for their pleasure. Thanks for watching.